This feature, Clare Women in Business, is funded by Comishún Naman with a television licence fee.
Welcome to this week's episode of Clare Women in Business on Clare FM. Ailish Malone was born and raised on the banks of the Shannon Estuary in West Clare. She grew up in Baran, where she attended primary school locally. From there, she went on to the Convent of Mercy in Kilrush for her secondary education. While not very exposed to art in primary school, Ailish loved the creative subjects, in particular in secondary school, where she studied art and home economics and enjoyed drama and public speaking. Not believing that studying art was an option then, she continued her education on a different path. Today, Ailish Malone is a full-time artist and designer based in Kilrush and founder of Ailish Malone Art.
So after school, I went to college, went to the RTC in Galway, studied tourism, and then I went on to study a computer secretarial course. I was very lost, I suppose, because I was just doing it because it was something to do, to pay the bills, to kind of try and find a way forward in life where I'd enjoy doing my job. But I did struggle, really. I enjoyed college, but I think my confidence took a hit because I think without knowing it, I wasn't following my dreams. I wasn't following what I really loved, which was being creative. So I think that does take its toll on you, and I could feel it over the years.
At what point then did you realise that you needed to follow your dream? You wanted to do what you were happiest doing.
When I got my job as a special needs assistant, so I've been a special needs assistant for many, many years, over 20 years in the local primary school here in Kilrush. And that was really life-changing for me. It was just the most wonderful experience because it really gave me a purpose. And within that role, in a very small way, I did get to be creative. Within the school, it's always encouraged in our local school here in Kilrush to use the talents that you have. So I was always encouraged to be creative within my job, which was absolutely fantastic. And that then lit a fire within me, I think, that, should I be following this more? Should I be looking into this more? Should I be doing more? Because I always felt I was tired when I came home in the evening. And I always feel I have to be in a very relaxed place to be able to paint and to be able to be creative. So at that stage then I decided to go job sharing, which just gave me the freedom to be completely creative in whatever way I wanted myself, with no outcome, no expectations, and just dive into the world of creativity, which I hadn't allowed myself to do when I was younger. So it was just fantastic. And then I job shared for a couple of years, and then I decided to take a career break. So I'm on my second year's career break now. So I've been working full-time as an artist for the last 2 years, and before that part-time. But it's just amazing, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to do that, because it has just given me the time and the space to be able to fully immerse myself in my business.
Doing what you love and following your dream now, but when you were working, did you still have time to paint, or had you put that completely on the back burner?
No, I was always dabbling away, I'd say, in the background. I'd do paintings for friends, for maybe presents for people. I was always, even in my home, trying to be creative, even with the interior of my home. So I was always trying to keep a hand in, to keep the creative juices flowing. I think as a creative person, you have to do that for your own sanity almost. And it's important anyway as a person to use your gifts. Like if you're good at something, you should use it as best you can.
You've taken it so seriously now that you've set up a business. You have your own business. You're in business for yourself, working for yourself. When did all that come about? I
suppose when my first solo exhibition was in 2023, and that just came about. I had been working on a collection for about 2 years. When I was working part-time, it gave me time to do that. And then I ended up with this collection of work. So as a result, it ended up in me having my solo exhibition, which was that was really a fantastic experience. And like, it helped me grow my confidence, because up to that I would have thought, who am I? I didn't go to art college. I'm self-taught. I've done lots of courses to try and improve my skills, and I continue to do so. But the solo exhibition kind of puts you on a different playing field, I suppose, just within myself, and it gave me the confidence to keep going. And it was received so well that I thought, gosh, I was just painting what I wanted to paint, totally from within me. And the fact that it resonated with other people, that just totally blew me away. And when I saw other people's reaction, and still people come to me and say, oh, I have your painting, it's on my wall, I absolutely love looking at it every day, or that it sparks a memory for them, or it sparks an emotion within them, that for me is just the greatest gift that I could give to anybody. I mean, it's undescribable really in words. I always say that there's lots of things I can't describe in words, so I just do it in paint. I just keep painting.
You sort of hinted there, Ailish, when you mentioned that you're self-taught, you hinted at imposter syndrome. You were maybe experiencing some of that. Well. But do you think that not having studied art in college has held you up in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's for and against. I have great respect for anybody that has gone to art college. I really, really do. And I think I would love to have had that experience. But when I went back painting, I did it with behind closed doors here. It was for me. It wasn't for anybody else. So I was able to totally express myself whatever way I wanted, without any rules. And there's something very, very liberating about that. And I think everybody should nearly experience that in some way during their lifetime, because it's just it's fantastic, it's very healing, and as I say, it builds a confidence within you without even realising it.
Even if you wanted it or dreamed of doing it, did you ever think, going back a few years now, that you would have an actual business?
I never dreamed it in a million years, to be honest with you. And like when I started, I'm calling it a business now, but and still even, it's my art practice. I'm so grateful that I can make a business out of it. Because we're always listening to the cliche, do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love. And I'm living that at the moment. Like every day, I just jump out of the bed. I cannot wait to just start. And I feel so lucky, because when I was in SNA for so many years, while it was different work, but it was so rewarding also. And now I feel, God, I'm getting to do this now, and it's equally as rewarding, and it's from me, completely from me, and having the gift to be able to express yourself is just, it's magical. It really is. And when I talk about expressing myself, it also involves, like, my art practice isn't just inside in the studio painting. It also involves spending a lot of time out in the landscape, which, as it's like going back to my childhood. What did I love to do? All I wanted to do was go down to the shore, run along the shore, run through the fields. I loved animals. I loved my dogs. I had a horse at the time. I just wanted to be outdoors or indoors creating with my mum. My mum was very creative, and I loved to be with her creating. So it's like now I'm literally getting to live my childhood dream. I get to spend time out in the landscape, and I get to come into my studio and create. It's just, I'm in heaven. I'm in absolute heaven.
When you decided, Ailish, then that I'm starting a business, where did you start?
Oh gosh, I got help. Yeah, I got support, because I had no idea how to even start. So I got a mentor. The local enterprise office have been fantastic, and I try and do courses every year with them if I can. I'm starting a new course with them in a couple of months' time that I'm really looking forward to. It's concentrating on women in business. So you're never finished learning. I have a lot to learn. I know that, I'm relatively new, I suppose, with regard to running a business, but I'm so excited by it. And having an art practice, as you say, there's so much involved, and I'm one person, so no 2 days are the same here. Maybe today I'm in the studio painting, tomorrow I could be out literally trying to gather inspiration outside in the landscape. I could be making videos for social media. I could be sitting down doing my books. I could be doing a course, maybe online, or going to a venue for a course. So it's constant, but I absolutely love that. There's so much to learn, and I know I can learn it. I know I'm able to learn it. So even though I'm older, setting up a business, it's not going to stop me, and it shouldn't stop anybody, because you're still able to learn. Maybe a little bit slower, maybe it'll take me, I have to go over things maybe a little bit more than a younger person might. But what about it? Just keep at it. Get support. That's the main thing I would say. We all need support. If you haven't done something before, obviously you're not going to know how to do it. So what do? You go to someone that has done it before and that knows what they're talking about. And it's just great, and it's great to have the support.
Was it very daunting though, knowing that this will now be an actual business?
It can be daunting at times, but I think the main thing I find daunting is what you spoke about earlier, is the imposter syndrome. That's the most daunting thing for me, is to keep pushing myself to just keep doing it regardless of what anyone thinks, of what I think anyone might say, because most of the time people don't really care what you're doing. They're just, and I have to say the support from people has been fantastic to encourage me to keep going. With regard to the business side of it, it kind of happened gradually. So it wasn't like I woke up one morning and decided, oh my God, I'm setting up a business today. It happened very gradually. So in that sense then, it never really became too daunting. Certain things like doing your taxes and that, but again, I get support. So if I come up against a roadblock, there's always a way around it. Somebody always knows what to do better than I do. So you just go and you find that person. And God, we've so many resources nowadays with computers or phones. It's much easier than it used to be, I suppose, to find the help that you need.
So what exactly are you doing? Because it's not just the painting.
I also create silk designs. I have a range of greeting cards. I do limited edition prints of my paintings. And I have a full range of silk scarves now, and I introduced wool scarves recently just before Christmas, and they were just received so well. I'm just totally blown away, really, as I said earlier, by the support of people. My collectors who buy my paintings, I'm so grateful. My paintings now are in all corners of the world. It's just unbelievable to me. It never gets old when somebody actually says, yeah, I'd like to buy that painting. It's just the best feeling in the world that somebody actually wants to have your work up on their wall. Or when I get an order for one of my silk designs, I make kaftans, skirts, tops, and I'm working on new designs also at the moment. I have new prints coming, waiting for them to arrive. And my scarves that I brought out, a new collection of prints just before Christmas, and they sold out within a couple of days. But I think, I'm always trying to say, God, what is it that people are liking about it? But I honestly think it's because, it's the Irish coastline. That's what I paint. That's what I'm inspired by. We have the most beautiful coastline, in my opinion, of anywhere in the world. It is just stunning. And the energy that you get from it is magical. And that's what I try to capture. And I think that's what's resonating with people who like my work, is that they like the colours, they like what they see in the print or the painting. And I am so grateful that I'm able to produce work that people seem to like.
The garments you're making, there's something particularly special about them because they're not just any garments. They are representations of your paintings.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're all inspired by my original paintings. So my process is that it starts with the original painting. And then depending on the painting, I might see something within the painting that I think will look good on silk. I mainly use 100% Italian silk. So it's a very luxurious material, very luxurious fabric. But my paintings transfer so well onto the silk. They are like living forms. They're like living art forms. And when you make them into a garment then, or a scarf, they just make you feel a connection to the landscape when you're wearing them. So I think that's unique. I don't know of any other garments that can make you feel like that. And that's what my customers are coming back saying to me. I felt connected to the landscape when I was wearing it. I felt like I was a walking piece of art, or people will say to them, my God, you're like a walking painting, and it's just incredible to get that feedback. It really is. It's undescribable, really. I am so grateful, so grateful.
The future then, Ailish, what is the plan for yourself and Ailish Malone Art?
Yeah, even when you say the word future, I'm so excited by it, really, because I'm so grateful that I'm able to keep doing it. So yeah, I have wonderful plans for the future, and they involve really continuing to do what I'm doing because I just love it so much. Keep painting, keep coming up with new designs for my silks, and I intend to continue to learn and grow. I'm going to continue to do courses with Leo, and I'm always open to learning new things because, I mean, you're never going to know enough, you're never going to know it all, so bring it on.
That was Kilrush-based artist and designer Ailish Malone. We'll be back next week with another episode of Clare Women in Business.
This feature, Clare Women in Business, is funded by Kilrush-based with the television licence fee.